All right. Good morning, tribe, and welcome to the Donut Shop at the beginning of the world. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbruggen, broadcasting live from Ravenscar, my backyard. Hey, good morning, Nina. Good to see you. Hey, Friday. I'm very glad it's Friday. It's been a long week. Yeah. So I knew starting a business. I'm making some room for my feet. I have big feet. Okay, I knew starting a business would be interesting. It's been interesting. Hey, good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Melanie. Yeah, sometimes you just roll with what the world gives you. And sleep when you can and be awake when you can. Good morning, Kimberlyn. Good morning, Alvin. Yeah, very long week, but an exciting week because the Medicine Man products have been showing up in people's doorsteps and people have been taking them and people have been liking them. Yay! I mean, I knew they would. Reaffirmation, having people confirm it. Hello, Big B. Easily distracted here in the Ravenscar. But yeah, so the latest thing is, yep. The latest thing. Let me just put her up there. Okay, the latest thing, the Amazon. So we paid extra for like cardboard box and bubble wrap and so forth because the bottles of the Medicine Man products are in glass because we didn't want any sort of plastic contaminant type stuff leaching into the pills. And so if you're shipping glass, you want to make sure that it's all well protected. And Amazon, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that padded envelopes is enough. So we're going to see. The digging into it last night, it's actually kind of interesting that so Amazon, it accepts a certain amount of loss. Things will get damaged in transit and whatever. And so like with the Medicine Man products in the glass bottles, they are seeing it's cheaper for them to ship it in an envelope than it is to ship it in a cardboard box. And so, okay, Elvin, I'll get that to you. I'll bring that up here in a second. So I was kind of wondering because I hadn't seen your name before, and I was wondering if you were new, but I didn't want to embarrass myself if you weren't and say hi. So anyway, okay, so the company, it's a herbal supplement thing, Medicine Man Plant Company, and right now we have the liver pill, the brain pill, the immune pill should be out in a few weeks here, and then the blood pressure pill and the male libido pill. But think ancient plants for modern issues. So, good morning, Kathleen. Kelly, sorry. Yeah, so anyway, Amazon has been shipping the things in envelopes, apparently with an extra heavy-duty bubble wrap around it. And to see what the acceptable loss rate is. If bottles break, okay, yeah, bottles will break. Will the number of broken bottles be less than the cost of the higher packaging stuff? So it makes sense. They're going to see if instead of shipping it in expensive boxes, we'll ship it in cheap padded envelopes, and hopefully the number of broken bottles is still costs Amazon less than the cardboard boxes. So, sorry. So that, from what we've been able to tell, is probably what's going on. They are doing that. I'm hoping then, if they find that, yes, the bubble wrap and padded envelopes is sufficient to get the glass bottles to the customer, then they will pass some of that savings on to us. We will see. So, yeah. Okay, let's see where Kimberly. Yeah. So, actually, having worked in the consumer goods industry for a long time, that does make some sense to me. The costs of packaging material, the boxes and wraps and containments and all that, they add up. And I know, like at Solvechem and PSC, at those places where I work doing the paint strippers and all that, we were constantly trying to find cheaper packaging that could hold the bottles. So there were certain things. So paint strippers, they attack plastic. So there's a thing called a fluorination, where you take the plastic bottle before you put the paint stripper in it. There's only a few plants in the country that will do that. But you basically fluorinate the bottle. So you know that fluoride rinse that they do at the dentist that makes your teeth, stronger? Well, there's a similar process that occurs with fluorine in certain types of plastics, that it kind of, makes the, plastic normally, if you looked at it like under electronic microscope, it'd be, fairly porous. And so the fluorine causes it to kind of condense and seal up those pores. So if you are buying just denatured alcohol in a plastic can, a certain amount of that denatured alcohol will evaporate away. And so the companies like the PSC, Crown, they would calculate, okay, what thickness of this plastic do we need to maintain the bottle at 90% of what we say it is on the label for a year? Because we can use a real thin bottle and it'll evaporate stuff away. It'll save us money, but if we drop below 10% loss in a year, we get dinged by the US government. So that makes sense. If you make it so it's impervious, I think right now the bottles are around the bottles that they ended up using for the denatured alcohol were around 80 cents a bottle, not counting the cap and the seal and all that sort of stuff. So to make them completely impervious, it would be more like $2 a bottle. So for the paint strippers, we'd start with the same bottles, but then we would send those off to get fluorinated, which would add a bunch to it. But they ended up being $2.50 to maintain the integrity of the bottle against the paint stripper, so that it didn't destroy the store. So a lot going on. Packaging and the everything that goes into getting stuff to your doorstep and in your garage and under your sink and in your medicine cabinet and all that. There's a lot of science that you don't ever hear about. All right, let's see. Oops. Okay, yeah, so pruning back muscadines and training them up a stock panel, that'd be a great thing to do. If you visit the hill country wine areas, they got the main mother root coming, and then the tendrils run out on like clotheslines along the big long trailing clotheslines to make it easy to harvest that. Grapes, muscadine, and Mustang both respond really well to training. So yeah, it's definitely something that will be in your benefit and probably result overall in a healthier vine. Let's see. Yeah, and so going back to the Amazon thing, so we paid extra for the box. That's why we're a small company. Amazon is a humongous company. We can't do a whole lot to say, hey, I mean, we can, but whether they'll respond or not. But, I mean, all things considered, I've said this at the beginning, the reason we want Amazon is because, everyone's eyeballs go to Amazon. So if we just had our little website, we would have you all and maybe your friends, and that would be it. But I'm egotistical enough to think my products are worth being introduced to the entire world. And right now that means Amazon. So like I said, we're hoping that, once Amazon decides, yes, the envelopes will work, we can go and say, so we get some money back or something. And from what there's all sorts of discussion groups, and I'm going to date myself here, news groups that for people who sell things on Amazon outside the Amazon communication jungle, but just like internet forums and so forth. And what it sounds like is, yes, if Amazon decides you have over-engineered the packaging and they can get away with less expensive, then they do cut back what they charge you too, or so they give you kind of a refund, if you will. So in the long run, if it works, and I'm still worried about that, it could result in reduced costs, but we'll see. All right, what else we got going on this morning? Let's see. What about bundle? Sorry, there's a lot of. I hope you all are reading the comments too. All right. Let's see. Okay, Patricia. Definitely want to go with the liver. Oh, you know what? I forgot something very, 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 very important. Give me less than 30 seconds to run and get it. So just look at the tree. Okay. I am back. All right. All right. So let me. A lot of stripper jokes going on. Okay. So the question came up: fatty liver. What do I use? Okay. So oops, stay there. Maybe like this. Okay. So with the liver pill, there is burdock root and milk thistle and flaxseed. And the burdock root, one of the things it does is the burdock root has been shown to speed up the processing of the liver. So the liver, it's getting rid of the chemical, any bad, think of it as the waste disposal plant for your body. And so it's breaking down things that the body doesn't need and getting rid of it. And this includes fat. So the burdock root, there's research that has shown that the burdock root will help break down and remove the fat deposits around the liver. So that's really cool. Now, as far as the liver pill, it does contain the burdock root, and it contains what science has determined to be the proper amount to have these effects on people. But we have not actually tested it for that, and so the FDA will not let us make that specific claim. So I can tell you what burdock root has been doing and found to do, but I can't claim that the liver pill will do that same thing, even though it contains the burdock root. Okay, got it? Got it. Okay. Alrighty. So, and you can get it from Amazon. If you let me do one thing here. I got tied up this morning answering questions and all that from other stuff. So let me just, if you go to, and my stand is drinking, the Foraging Texas website, there's a tag at the top for Medicine Man Plant Company, and that will take you to the Amazon store of the of us and with the products there. I have 15 computer. Yikes. Oops, where'd it go? Yeah, when I'm outside, I have pants on. Neighbors, bad fences, all that. So, anyway. Love my coffee. All right. So, I always have to be careful what I say about these things because I don't want to get in trouble with the FDA. So that's why we got the disclaimer here. So, but it's hard for me to hold in my enthusiasm for these things. Okay, great question. Yes. So here's the thing. If you use my affiliate links, like if I post, the liver pill or my book or some cool flashlight or thing like that, and then you follow that specific link to Amazon and buy it, I get 6% of the cost as a sales commission for that item, plus any other items you order in like the next 24 hours. So if you plan on getting a $1,500 computer monitor or I don't know, a couch or something like that, it helps me out if you go and go to my Amazon store, like the Amazon.com/shop/foraging Texas, something like that. Throw a little something. I should put some little $2 pens or something in there, and then you throw that in there, and then everything else you order after that. But yeah, I do get. Just a minute, I'm losing it. Okay, there we go. I do get a sales commission for sending you to Amazon. Yeah, that's part of the reason we have the group take. I was almost thinking in the afternoon I need to do another group take, come online quick, but I thought that would just be kind of silly. Let's see. Okay, so the when you say similar to coffee, the main thing. Let's see if we can do it. So I got the Yopon Holly here. I got 2 Yopon Holly. So I have one oak tree and focus. Okay. The acorn. So you can make a coffee, and when we say coffee, we mean hot brown bitter fluid. The Yopon Holly actually tastes great, and it's not bitter, and it does have caffeine. The acorn coffee, it's all right. I actually prefer the okra seed coffee. So okra is a mallow, and the different mallow seeds, like hibiscus and those, if you roast them and then brew a coffee from them, that's kind of good. It has a texture to it. It has so in the hibiscus seeds and the okras, hibiscus mallow seeds, there's a bit of mucilaginous material, and so it's not much in the seeds, but it affects the overall mouthfeel of the coffee, and I kind of like that. Those are the 2 big ones I have. The wild sunflower, but I haven't been impressed by that. Yeah, mainly the acorn, the okra, and I have a hibiscus up front, and then the Yopon. So, all right. No, will not keep you up. It does not keep me up. There's no stimulants in the liver pill. The brain pill, you might find yourself thinking more. So here's an interesting example of the brain pill. So we had our morning take yesterday. I took the 2 in the morning, and I'm driving to work, And believe it or not, when I'm like driving down the road, I'll be thinking about, a zillion different things at once. My mind is popping around, popping around, popping around, popping around, popping around. This morning or yesterday morning, I was just focused on one issue, and it was how to run a power line from my battery through the firewall of my Forerunner and connect it to my ham radio. And normally I would spend like 15 seconds on that and jump to some other thing. But I was mentally tracking everything through and how I would do that. And I realized that I had no idea where I was. I just had kept driving while I was thinking. And I got confused because I was thinking I had passed my exit to go to my boss's house. And I hadn't. I figured out where I was after a few bits, but then I realized, wow, because normally, my mind is, focus, exit, focus, looking, and I found myself just, focused on one topic, and it's like, wow, this is awesome. Again, anecdotal evidence, FDA disclaimer, but as far as the liver pill, no, it's not going to help you with that. Keeping you up at night. Okay. Important thing when asking a question, try not to use pronouns because I don't know which it you're talking about. If you're talking about the okra coffee, you take the mature okra seeds, so you let the pods get woody, and then you take the seeds and then cookie sheet, 400 degrees, oven, put the seeds on the cookie sheet, put them in the oven for just 2 minutes or so, maybe not even that. You got to keep an eye on them. I would start with a small batch of seeds and see how long they go in there because you don't want them black. You want them toasted brown. I'm trying to think what would be a good color. Ooh, 2 lizards fighting. Sorry, easily distracted. Kind of a not like a Snickers bar, dark brown, lighter than a Snickers bar. Okay. Once you have that, then you just grind them up and use them like a coffee grounds. Traditionally, what a lot of people would do would mix the real coffee with one of the coffee substitutes, like the okra or the acorns or things like that, to kind of stretch out the amount of coffee they had. This is interesting. Okra is anti-carcinogen. That I'm not sure. Okra is, pretty domestic, and so I don't spend as much time with them. So I'll have to look into that. Yeah. So if you watch out your hibiscus, after it produces, man, I got some of these giant, the big fat bumblebees flying around here. Anyway, after the flower drops, the landscaping hibiscus will form little short okra pods. They look like okra. They're, the same family, but they're really short. They're, like an inch long, maybe. So yeah, look where the flowers were, and you'll see them, there. Mm-hmm. We're getting lots of questions. I apologize if we're missing yours. Oh, okay. Fasting. That's another great question. So I do the intermittent fasting where I don't eat on Tuesdays, and no issue with that. So it should not, if anything, okay. It's not. So let me back up a little here. So I was pondering that myself when I was working on these things, and is it going to screw up the other things that are going on during fasting? And looking at it, there's no calories in this. Well, okay, in the burdock root, there's a small amount of what's called inulin, which is not insulin, but inulin, which is a very complex starch that the human body cannot break down, but some of the gut bacteria can. And so it works kind of as a probiotic. That's just a whole other side benefit to the burdock root. but you're not going to get any calories from it, so it's not going to trigger the, or interfere with the effects of fasting. The main issues you might get is if this is the only thing in your stomach at the time, especially the liver pill. The brain pill won't have any of these issues, but the liver pill may cause some digestive upset, as the gut bacteria, the naturally forming gut bacteria, go, woohoo! Look at this food. This is exactly what we want. And chow, 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 chow. And then when the gut bacteria does that, usually their waste material will be different gases. So I would say if you are fasting, start with one pill. See how it reacts with, well, mainly your stomach and your intestines, and see if you don't have any issues with that, and then bump it up to the recommended. So start with one pill, and then two, during the course of the day, and then two at one point, like two in the evening, and see, if there's anything, but work your way up to it. So it should not, the pill should not affect the benefits of fasting, and the fasting should not affect the benefits of the pills, other than just perhaps some issue with the gut bacteria being overly excited. But as far as fasting, a combination of the fasting and the liver pill is actually, in my opinion, put the sign up, probably the best way of benefiting from both, because you got the liver superpowered to help detoxify the body while you're not putting any new toxins in, so you can do a complete cleanse. All right, let's see. But you're still moving, Melanie. You are still moving. Oops. Yeah, and that's what so for the antenna, that's what I did. I ran it through the grommet, popped out the grommet, drill a hole, ran it through perfectly fine. I was just wanting to use a different grommet because I don't want the power line right next to the antenna line. So that was mainly what I was thinking. I was trying to remember. Well, I knew where the other grommet was that I want to come in through, and I was just mentally mapping out the engine compartment to where to run the wires. But thank you. So, yeah, I'm ending up with lots of stuff attached to my battery. The next step is to maybe someday have a second battery installed in the vehicle. Zombie cicada fungus. Well, I guess it is a start of a new month of the apocalypse. So sure, let's go with zombie. I'm not overly opposed to zombie cicada fungus if it means they'll shut up. They're not going to be screaming all night. The other have you noticed the one of the predators of the cicadas are copperhead snakes, and copperhead snakes can climb trees. So like July, August, there's always a warning when you're out at night. Don't just hang around a tree or bump a tree or go climb a tree, because you might run into copperheads as they're climbing up there to eat the cicadas. So I will see your zombie cicadas and match them with the tree climbing venomous snakes. And now let's get some venomous zombie copperheads out of the deal, and away we go. Okay, this is cool. You found a spoiled plum, so you put it in a clean jar with purified water and a little sugar. You say, now you have a yeast starter. Cool. Yeah, so mainly, Jonathan, you will treat it like a sourdough. I need to set my coffee down. So the problem with yeast, well, the good thing about yeast is it takes sugar and converts it into alcohol. Yay! Yay! The crowd goes wild. The problem is it keeps doing that to the point where there's so much alcohol present that it will kill the yeast. Oh, sadness. They talk about humans are the only creatures that destroy their environment. It's like, no, that's not true. Yeast does it. Every bottle of beer you drink, every bottle of wine you drink, yeast have happily destroyed their environment to the point where it kills them. So anyway, so what you need to do is be diluting it every so often. So as with sourdough bread, where every day or every 2 days you take out a scoop of the sourdough and dispose of it and put in fresh water and fresh flour. Same thing with this. Every day or so, I don't know how much you have present, but take half of it away and then replace that half you've removed with an equal amount of the sugar water solution that you've been feeding it. And by doing that, you will be keeping the toxic level of alcohol down to the point where it won't kill the yeast, so the yeast will keep going. That's my recommendation. And then with the stuff that you are disposing of, what you can do is add a little bit of water to it and then try freezing it. That should put the yeast in a dormant state, but I can't guarantee that 100%. All right. Whoops. I saw something here. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, man. Okay. So, stop. Stop. Okay. We're running right here, but group take. Get your liver pills. So, two liver pills. They're hard to swallow without coffee. And 2 of the brain pill. Brain pill. I said the daily dose of the brain pill is 3 pills a day total. I take 2 in the morning and then 2 in the mid-afternoon. Okay. Just a minute. There was one message here. Ooh, you know what? I don't know. Probably not, Kimberly. That's okay though, because I get the Medicine Man Plant Co. is my my source of income. So if you do a monthly subscription to that, it still helps me. So I would be very, very, very thankful for that. So the brain pills, it's 3 during the course of the day. More than 3, your body can't absorb all this stuff, and you end up having some expensive pee. Like I said, one of the things with these is I looked at all the research and figured out how much material you actually need to get the effect and how much the body can absorb and all that, and worked it out so that when you take the recommended doses, 4 for the liver, 3 for the brain, you get the material you need without getting more than your body can handle. So, yeah, unfortunately, they're a little confusing that one is 4 and one is 3, but it's the way science was. Okay, and then was it Mike? Let me look into that. Yeah, I didn't know this, so this is something good. All right, I got to run. So love you all. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. Spend some time with your loved ones or pets or whatever, or get outside. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I haven't had a chance to check. But other than that, just have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday. All right, have a good one. Bye, all. End broadcast.